Alright, so I've got a couple rack packs that I'm going to open up from like 1985. So I think Clemens, and you got Reggie Jackson on top there. Craig Nettles. Let's see anybody else on here that's worth mentioning. And then you got 1984. You got Jim Rice. That's like an insert. Wade Boggs. Maybe on the back side. Is anybody good? Not really. And then this is 1983. So this is like one of those baseball card exchange. So it's like authenticated. I mean, for the most part, I mean, you probably rack packs. You're not going to have any issues with the gum. You know, I don't think there's a way to maybe, I know I saw somebody like eBay, they kind of had some slide out, and then maybe they could, looks a little bit deemed up there. Anyway, yeah, they had some slide out that you maybe see somebody like, oh, hey, this is like a really hot, you know, player, or good player, whatever. So I just kind of use the scissors. Open those up a little bit there. So anyway, it's been kind of a weird summer for me, but yeah, there's, like I say, Craig Knowles, Jose Cruz, Broderick Perkins, Julio Upshaw, Danny Darwin, Rick Lysander, Neil Allen, Dwayne Kuiper. He's like a broadcaster now for the Giants. Jerry Mumphrey, Butch Weniger with the Yankees. He started out with the Twins. Greg Luzinski, Charlie HoF, Old Man, Kiko Garcia, Ken Singleton, and Darryl Brown. So, well, not much there in that one. Yeah, well. See here. Kind of a little cut there, not too much. Like I say, that's the All-Star manager. I guess 1983, the probably Orioles were the winners. And there's like say card 12-22. So they kind of had inserts back then. Gene Garber, Paul Walter, that's a good one. He's in the Hall of Fame, I believe. Mike Jeffcoat, Roger Clemens. That I believe is the rookie card. Richard Dotson, Charlie Moore, Dwight Gooden, that's another good one. Steve Farr, Jeff Leonard, All-Star there. Danny Lozart. Jim Fry, other managers. Bruce Sutter, that's an All-Star. I mean, in Hall of Famer. Darnell Coles, Tony La Russa. So I had a couple managers in there. Renee Loshman, another manager. And Jerry Narron. Let's see here. So you got Reggie Jackson, like I say, another good one. Gary Maddox, Wade Boggs, that's probably what his second year, third year. Brian Downing, Bill Russell, Bobby Grich, Frank Williams, Donnie Moore, Lou Whitaker, another. No, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame, but he probably should be. Tom Niederfauer, Rich Kidman, Steve Yeager, Darryl Strawberry. That's checklist. Darty Lemaster, Bill Lasky, and Dick Ruthman. He pitched a long time. And okay, now we're going to go 1984. Oh. cut there. Okay, so we'll open this one first. So we got Wade Boggs, Marvel Wynn, Jim Rice, Pete Ladd, Ron Kittle, Bobby Mitchell, Buck Martinez. He's like, I think the broadcaster for the Blue Jays. Lee Lacy, or at least now. He used to be like probably ESPN. Jason Thompson, Dave Smith, Buddy Bell, Ron Hodges, Cecil Cooper. He had a really good career. Durham, the Bull, Cliff Johnson, Pat Zachary, Scott Sanderson, and there's Roy Smalley. John Moses, Ron Say with the Cubs. Started out with the Dodgers for a long time. Steve Yeager. Ken Sharon, I guess. Pedro Guerrero. Dave Schmidt. Frank Tanana. Steve Bedrosian. Greg Bargar, yes. Chris Chambliss. Bill Stein. Pat Sheridan. So the rookie card in this one would be the Don Mattingly card. And I actually pulled it before a long time out of a pack that I like seeing one of these that before I started filming. Mike Moore, Alan Ashby, Kerry Ward, Dan Dreesen, Jerry something. There's a manager, Tom Lasorda, Larry McWilliams, and now I'll get to that. As a kid, I used to go to like Thrifty. I mean now Rite Aid, but now I think Rite Aid's out, and I pick up these rag packs from the 70s. There's like say Jim Rice, and that's like say that's like an insert from way back when. Paul Householder, Bucky Dent, Len Brummer, I guess. There's another one of Jim Fry, the manager of the Cubs. Alejandro Pena, Steve Rogers as All-Stars. And you got the Reds. There's Ron Oyster and Mario Soto, batting and pitching leaders. Ray Quantino, Eddie Whitson, Howard Bailey, Andrew Dawson, that's, within Expos, and then he went to the Cubs. Mike Lacoste, Bob James, Matt Young, Pat Putnam, the Mariners, and another checklist. Mike Schmidt, that's Hall of Famer, good one. Craig Reynolds, and then John Montefusco. So I'm just going to pause this and kind of open this up, at least portionally, Okay, yeah, so that's kind of, they have that packaging there, and got these little things there to hold in place. Yeah, let's see, I don't think there's anybody in particular. Nope. And this one will be 20 Gwynn, Lee Boggs, Ryan Sandberg would be in this one. That's a rookie. Okay, there's Hubie Brooks here. Scott Sanderson, well, the one before him. Paul Malzer, there's another. Keith Hernandez, he's now, this was when he started off with the Cardinals, then he went to the Mets and then won the, championship. And now he's like a broadcaster for the Mets. Chili Davis, John Mayberry. I remember him more as a Royal. Tom Herr, Bob Denier, Tim Lawler, Ivan De Jesus. There's Al Bunbury. He's a pretty good center fielder. There's Don Baylor. He had really good years for the Angels and then went to the Red Sox and definitely a good career. Phil Necro, another good career. Doug Flynn, Tom Hume. You got Jim Cott, who played a lot, pitched a lot. Alan Ashby, Frank White, he played for the Royals for a long time. I guess there's later. You gotta be careful with the scissors, they don't cut too much. Steve Swisher. You got Steve Henderson, Art Howe. He played a long time, managed. Dick Williams, he was a long-time manager to the A's back in 73, 74, I think, and won a couple world championships with them, went Expos, San Diego, California Angels, Mario Soto, Rob Wilfong. Rod Crew as an all-star, Hall of Famer. Don Hood, Joe Simpson, John Watson, Ron Roanoke, Fernando Valenzuela. That's probably his second, third year. I think 81 is his rookie. And then they would do the 2 or 3 players, rookie stars. Luis Bagaleo or Billy Gardner. There's another manager. Barry Bonnell, Wally Backman, you got Carl Scrimpsky. Could be maybe one of his last years. Played a long time. Lenny Fayaldo, I guess. Okay, and then here's the last stack. John Curtis, here's Dave Smith. There's the Stone Base Leaders, Ricky Henderson, Tim Raines, that's a good one. Moose Haas, Vincente Romo, Bill Verdon, manager. Let's see, probably Houston, I think Pirates, I'm sure, managed. Brad Havens, Steve Mura, John Martin. There's Louis Tiant, super veteran. Don't remember much of him as an Angel, mostly as a Boston Red Sox in that classic series with the Cincinnati Reds. Carl Fisk hitting the home run and kind of jumping up and down, trying to wave it fair. Bob Shirley must be joking. Stop doing that. Omar Moreno. And there's a leading fireman, that'd be the Saves, Dan Quisenberry. And Bruce Hitter. Quisenberry was more like a submariner. Yeah, so they'd call him firemen, not before they do the saves. Tug McGraw, is it the dad of Tim McGraw? Tom Hossman. And there's Tommy John. Probably know, like you hear like the Tommy John surgery. That's started off, looks like Cleveland, mostly with the Dodgers, Yankees, Angels. He was with the Dodgers when he had the surgery, where they kind of just did like an experiment to see if there's a way to repair stuff. Anyway, that's Tommy John, and next say Doug Bear. So it's pretty good haul, I'd say. There's that. And then Roger Clemens rookie. There we go. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of these years you can get a lot of good stuff, you know, for maybe 40, 50 bucks, you know. I mean, compared to what they cost before, I mean, you know, it's like, hey, that's probably been a good thing to, just, go back in time with it. Like, Back to the Future, like, go back and, like, okay, I'm just going to get some of these packs and the rat packs, and I won't open them up. I'll sell them later for $1,000. I mean, especially that 70 stuff. I mean, 60 stuff would be even tougher. But anyhow, have a great weekend, or rest of the weekend. College football's on. See Ohio State just beat Texas. So anyhow, hopefully, you got baseball, fantasy baseball winding down, fantasy football starting up. Yeah, so anyhow, take care. See you later.